Hello, I'm Samara and I'm the creator of Waymade Wears. I'm filming this intro before the rest of the video's events. It's a very heavy sewing video and I'm not the best at sewing, but I am making costume pieces for myself and a couple of friends for the Paravelle Ball. If you don't know what that is, it's like a fantasy bookish ball. The Paravelle Ball doesn't follow like a certain series or show or anything that actually exists. It's just its own thing that's fantasy, and you can come and you dress up and you just look pretty and dance the night away. My friends and I are not going as guests. We're actually going as actors to play characters interacting with other guests throughout the night. My friend JT is a professional actor, stunts person, he does sword choreography, and he has started working with the company that was putting on a couple sword fights at the ball that evening, and I guess through him he found out they were looking for more help, and he was like, hey, does anyone want to come play pretend with me? And we were like, why not? That sounds fun. We all play D&D together, so you know, it couldn't be any different than that. So yeah, we reached out and we had a week to prepare basically our character for the ball. Natasha, who is a photographer and one of the co-heads of Paravelle, she was the lead character designer and story director for the night, and she sent us all character assignments that had really helpful backstory for each character, our names, and then some outfit character inspiration. Using the character inspiration images, I quickly went to work illustrating outfits for myself and my friend Felicia, using items that I already had and pieces that I thought I had time to make, using patterns I got from online, and then just kind of making stuff up as I went along. For this video specifically, I am sewing 3 tops. I'm sewing a hood top gold piece for Felicia. I'm sewing a like black kind of arm shoulder piece for myself, and then I'm sewing a 3rd top that's a hood for JT because it was a pattern that I had and honestly it looked cool and fit with his character. So I'm pretty much going to be doing strictly voiceover for the entirety of this video just because I had so little time to make all these pieces, and again, I'm a beginner, so I just wanted as much time as possible to focus on what I was doing. It really got down to the wire, but I did accomplish all my tasks, and I hope you'll follow along for the journey. The first thing I did was cut out my patterns that I purchased from Etsy. I have access to a large format printer at work, which was really nice because I didn't want to spend the time to attach a bunch of 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper. And then I cut out some mock-ups using old bed sheets I had lying around. I wanted to make mock-ups because I was a little wary about the sizing charts on the pattern and didn't have time to fix anything once the pieces were complete. So hope to get the right sizing from the get-go.
Excuse me.
Today is day 2 of my sewing projects for the Paravelle Ball. Today the goal is to finish this top and to finish my top. But yeah, it's gonna be a big day of sewing and cutting, and it's gonna be great. Yeah, I'm excited. First thing down, I'm actually genuinely quite pleased with how this turned out. That was kind of my first test with this material. And yeah, it's not too bad. I had to manually crank quite a bit, but I think that will be just fine. The Alica top proved to be extremely challenging, and I had to retrace my steps several times. Eventually I got it, but I'll have to do a full tutorial video in the future because I did not record most of the process. I was so frustrated. It's now Thursday. We're halfway through the week, or over halfway. I didn't get a lot of time to sew yesterday, and with the little time that I had, I just didn't record because I was just rushing to get a good start on Felicia's hood. I'm almost done with her hood, although at the very end of the night I realized that I had swapped 2 steps. Here's where I'm at. It's pretty much together, but I was supposed to do the facing before I sewed the lining. And then for the armholes, because I'm not doing the sleeves on the original pattern, I ordered some bias tape, and I'm just gonna bias tape that up. And then for my top, I have to redo the collar. The material that I'm using, it's just too thick, and I just like couldn't get it to work. So I will be switching to the suede for at least just the collar. And then the last final thing I have to do is just attach the button piece. But I still have JT's hood, and I have not even cut out the fabric. I have to actually recut out the patterns because we went up a couple sizes. I thought based on my measurements that he was one size, and then we tried on the mock-up. It was way too small. So I'm just gonna do the biggest size and hope that it either fits or is a little bit bigger than him. And because he'll be probably wearing some stuff underneath it. Last but not least, I have the skirts. Skirts should be pretty easy. Skirts are just, for my skirt, I'm gonna do a band, probably like buttoned in the front, or like, you know, come together, clasp it. It'll be hidden underneath my leather corset, so I'm not too worried about the top. I'm not gonna line it or anything, just the one fabric. And then for Felicia's, because I'm using a curtain for hers, it's already pretty much done and hemmed. I just have to like roll the top over. There is one other thing I was gonna do as a prop for my costume. I was gonna make like a drawing of one of the other characters that I'm kind of like looking out for. So I have to still do that drawing and then print that out. So yeah, I'm gonna try to take breaks, and as you can tell, I'm like so tired because it's just been a whirlwind of a week, but I'm gonna try to take it slow. Buckle in, here we go. For my skirt, I kind of ended up winging it. I measured and cut 4 pieces that were smaller on the top than the bottom, and then sewed those together and kind of made a French seam. Basically, because I had a longer seam allowance, I was able to press the seam in half so none of the edges were showing, and then I sewed along the newly pressed seam. Where you wait? It is Friday. It is the day before the ball, and I am weirdly calm, but also very stressed out at the same time. So today I just need to do JT's hood, and I don't know, I'm hoping that will be quick. Maybe I can get that done this morning, and then by the time that I'm done with this, I'm hoping that the hook and eye for Felicia's skirt will be here, the bias tape for her top will be here, and the extra buttons and things I was going to use for this. We're nearing the end, and I'm excited about some things. I'm kind of sad about some other things, the way they turned out, but I think, you know, once I see the full costumes together, it'll come together, and I'll be happy no matter what. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep trucking along today. I've got all day. I don't have any other errands, so we'll see how far I can get today, and hopefully I can finish. The short hood pattern I used for JT ended up being the easiest pattern in my opinion, or I was just getting better since it was my third piece. It was a lot more straightforward. I sewed the whole piece with the main fabric, which used to be a tablecloth, and then I sewed the whole lining, which was used from an old black backdrop that I had.
Okay, I was just procrastinating. I ran into the ton of fabric that I have. I realized that this mannequin is not exactly my size. You just have to admit it, Ariel. So
Felicia's skirt fabric used to be a curtain that had a pipe pocket, so I folded the top over where the bottom of the pipe pocket seam was, and then because I needed the circumference to match her waist, I hand sewed some pleats. The outfit the skirt was attached to was my wedding jumpsuit, and it also had a top skirt that was attached to it using hook and eyes, so I added some hooks to Felicia's skirt using placements from the other skirt. This is my husband, Elliot, and he made me a custom arm brace day of the ball. How are you feeling?
Oh, so good.
Show off your item. Nice. Ooh, yeah. Pretty cool.
I'm gonna show it off tonight.
Yes.
In a brutal sword fight in phenomenal fashion.
Abby, look at what you made. Got this little leather belt. Ooh, so cool.
And the skirt.
Oh yes, absolutely. All right, the night is over. How'd it go?
I'm just kidding. It was so fun, but I'm
Abby, how'd it go? So fun. We're all a little tired. Oh, yeah. I'm sweaty, I'm oily, but we had a good time. We had a great time. Quick little final thoughts. Everything held up super well the night of the ball, and JT even did his sword fights and nothing ripped. One issue though, he couldn't fully button the front, so he just left it open, which it looked fine. It was cool. Felicia's top worked great. She left her hood down for the most part because it was a little warm, but everything looked good. The skirt, I did notice, had quite a few wrinkles, and I wish I would have like steamed it or pressed it ahead of time, but you know, it is what it is. And then for my hood, yeah, it worked great. It fits good. Only two issues that I had with it were, you could see, you know, some of my seams because of this lighter like padding in between because it's like a quilted material. There's like this, I don't know what you would call it, this like padding bit. I think it was too big. If I turn to the side, you can see it just sticks out a little awkwardly. I guess the sizes that I chose were a little too big. It was confusing because the patterns, to figure out your size, you had to measure your chest area, which I don't, like based off of my chest size, like I was an extra large, which didn't totally make sense to me and clearly wasn't the right size, but it is what it is. Either I will make another one and just make it an XL or an L, or for this one I'll just take it in a little bit under the arms. Who knows? But that will be for a future project, and maybe I'll make that into a video just on its own because this was a really hard pattern. And I think it'd be fun. It's a really cool idea. I think it'll look good on any costume. You could, I'm sure, make your own version of it. But yeah, it was a little confusing. It was a little confusing. So I'll do a better tutorial video in a future video. So I hope you made it to the end. Thanks again for watching, and hope to see you on the next one.